The first Berserker Khazan on the Steam Deck, that demo. So this game, I've been playing it on my PC, I found it pretty interesting and it's actually coming out in March. But at the moment there's a demo that anybody can access. The Steam Deck compatibility is unknown, but this is an Unreal Engine 4 game. And I have one thing to mention before jumping in. If you go to Manage, Properties, use the command SteamDeck equals 0 command like you see it here, exactly like this, and you launch the game. The game will show you every option in the menu, otherwise some options in the menu are hidden. By hidden I mean looking at all these options in the menu, some of them without using that command are gone, at least from here. So what will be missing is the DLSS option obviously, but FSR2 and XeSS will also be missing if you don't put that command. You can still choose between the X11 and 12, but these will be hidden, and it seems that FSR2 is enabled with quality if you don't use that command, so the game is aware that we're on a Steam Deck. This command is to tell the game, hey, I'm not a Steam Deck, let me in. When it comes to settings, there's a lot of them. This is the ones that I'll use. Basically medium settings with max anti-aliasing. Actually, anti-aliasing on anything below high doesn't look particularly amazing. There's a lot of shimmering. On max, they seem to have built a good solution, at least in my opinion. Then all these are on medium. Going lower than this really doesn't make sense. It impacts the visuals quite a bit. You can even remove shadows if you wanted to, but the performance gain is very small. The X12 instead of the X11, it seems to be performing a little bit better, although there are stutters on both of them. And I'll keep FSR2 on quality. So we're at the very beginning of the game. And again, if you don't use that command, the Steam Deck equals 0 thing, you'll be with FSR2 on quality. So this is what the game should look like when you launch it for the first time. Again, you can use the X11 or 12. In this case, it seems that 12 runs a tiny bit better. And also the beginning of the game here is where it ran the worst for me on the GPU side. But let's continue until we have a weapon or something. Alright, so far when there's vegetation and volumetrics like that is when it drops frames, but then as soon as I get my weapons, it runs something like this, mostly in the 40s. It can drop into the upper 30s at times. It really depends on what's going on. Once we get the full game, I'll be testing more places, because usually the first area, it depends on the game really, doesn't run like, I don't know, maybe a second or third world. Maybe there is a more demanding part, so we only have the demo to go with. But at the moment, UE4 are usually into the 40s, or probably lucky to 45 on the OLED. So by one more adjustment, I meant FSR2 balance instead of quality. There's also XeSS that runs a bit better actually, it's like 2 or 3 frames ahead. But here you got to decide. FSR2 looks more chunky, XeSS has more ghosting and is softer looking, so I recommend you try both and decide. Now looking at it on the smaller screen, I think it holds up a lot better than, of course, putting it on a bigger screen. Most people are going to play it like this on the Steam Deck. If you have the OLED Steam Deck, as usual, in games like this, I'll lock it to 45 on the OLED, maybe 40 is on the LCD Steam Deck. What to say, on a full charge, probably 2.5 to 3 hours of battery on the OLED, and then on the LCD it's probably going to be 1.5 to 2 hours, at least locked to 45. But overall, first impressions are pretty good. I think artistically speaking, the game is very competent. The fact that we have a demo available to everyone 2 months ahead of release really speaks volumes to their trust in the game, at least in my opinion. And if you want to play at 30 FPS, you can also do so. If you want to disable upscaling, that's an option. Personally, in a game that requires dodging, attacking, reflexes, quote unquote, all that good stuff, I'd rather play it at 40 to 45, honestly. I think it looks and feels way smoother, obviously. So if you can avoid 30s in games like this, of course you'll be probably doing better at them. 30 is still fine, it's playable, but if there's an option to do 45, that's also good to have, at least in my opinion. Once the full game releases, let me know, guys, if you're interested in 30 FPS. I also want to test that, but in a more demanding place. And when it comes to the demo, pretty good first impressions when it comes to performance. But we're now outside for the first time. I wanted to get to this part because it's a little bit different, a bit more open. I think it's more fair to see the performance there. Also visiting this area for the first time. I'm guessing there will be less stutter later when there is pre-compiled shaders from the community, as usual on SteamOS. That'll be good to see. But overall, seems to be holding 45 pretty well, at least with balanced upscaling. Again, this is a demo, so the game releases on March. It's a couple months away still. It could get better or worse. Usually gets better, but who knows? Hopefully they get good enough feedback from the community with the demo. Again, you can get the demo right now on Steam. It doesn't have an expiration date, so you can play it as much or as little as you want. Freaking monkeys. Is that a Wukong reference? Anyway. So, all things considered, I'm pretty impressed with the performance. I usually expect new games to run like absolute garbage, but the fact that we can do 45 on the Steam Deck 2 months before release is a good sign. I'm cautiously optimistic on this one. When it comes to visuals, I think the art style is pretty cool. There's also the formable snow. It's a cel-shaded art style, so usually with FSR, even with the chunkiness, I think it still visually holds up pretty well. And yeah, I mean, in the areas that I visited so far, performance has been pretty good, even on my lower-end computers. I was expecting it to run well on Steam Deck after playing it there, but I love the main character's hair. It's really a good, very good first impression. But again, you don't have to take my word for it. You can try it out by yourself. The demo is available on Steam right now. It's 12 gigabytes. Installed is around 20, so you need 20 gigs on your Steam Deck in total. But yeah, overall, great if you want to play at 45 with some resolution sacrifice. Otherwise, play at 30. If you want to see that when the full game releases, please let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys, thanks for watching.